This is like, it's like the pregnant pause before they all come on. It's very exciting.
You can't hear.
Yeah, exactly. Sally, have we got Timothy? Give us one more plug in about your stuff then, Rick.
Well, a lot of all American golf stores carry our product, and I've done a lot of training with them on the technology of how it works. So if you're interested in golf clubs and understanding new performance parameters, talk to some of the staff at the American golf stores. We have one right here, or there's many located around the UK. And the other item that we have, real quick, is an iron that's called the polarity iron. And to go along with the forgiveness of the driver, the weighting is actually extended way out on the toe, and there's a hump of weight on the back of the hosel, which spreads the distribution of weight across a larger area. So if you hit the ball on the toe or heel, it won't twist as much, which means that the golf ball should fly a little straighter on some of those mishits.
Are we one day going to get irons the size of woods?
They really
useful for me
because you can't get through the turf if they get too. This is about as large as you'll get.
Okay, well we've got drivers and irons there. Timothy Winey's basically designed one of the most amazing putters to come out. A big round of applause, please, Timothy Winey. We have to say Cathy Classics as well now. This is nice.
Okay. Hello, Jim.
How you doing? So tell us about why you're here. You brought your clubs here. Wonderful stuff. I thought they were for me like a freebie.
Well, I'm getting some unusual stares here, and I can't blame folks. This is the Torpedo putter.
Torpedo, right?
Correct. This is the shaft that folks saw on television and didn't really know what to make of it. Padre Carrington used this. Padre Carrington used this putter in some tournaments last year. He won the Irish Open with not the putter, issues in terms of the shaft and a conventional head.
So what's special about it?
Oh boy, I'm going to try to condense this dramatically here.
Because I've already found out that putters are important.
They are.
In life. They're the most important part of the bag, apparently.
In my view, putting is overrated in golf, and I think a lot of folks would agree with me. So, since the USGA and RNA will not enlarge the hole for me, I decided to do it from a different way. And this sort of really does that. And I'm not exaggerating, and I'll explain why. My son, who was 8 years old at the time, was getting interested in golf. He saw me play golf. He wanted to be a golfer. And he found in the bottom of one of my bags an old kid's putter.
Okay.
And in the old days, a kid's putter was a grown-up's putter cut down. There was no change in weight. So it was obviously too heavy for him. So he was very handsy, like most kids, or physically, I should say. So I thought, well, I tried. And I couldn't get him to putt from the shoulder with his arms more or less steady. So I just affixed some weight to this little kid's shaft, and he started making everything. When I say everything, I mean as good professionals.
Better than you?
He was only 8, and he was making everything. So that this can't be. So I modified a putter for myself. And I'm not the world's best putter by any stretch, but I started making everything. Scary. So
you thought maybe you were onto something here?
Definitely. So I did some experiments of my own. I had a study done with robots and high-speed video cameras.
What kind of robot? Like Johnny Five from Short Circuit?
Real simple, just pendulum robots.
Okay.
You drop the putter from a set height, hit the ball in the different parts of the face. And what we discovered was a couple of things. Number one, it enlarged the sweet spot dramatically. So if you hit the ball out of the toe or the heel, it still goes up there for a 2-putt. Also, the most important thing really has to do with the cancellation or the amelioration of grip pressure is a problem in putting. So in the old days, they might tell you, I still hear this advice, if you have a slick downhill putt, hit it out on the toe or lighten your grip, the ball won't go as far. That's obvious to everyone. What isn't so obvious is that under pressure, we now know that yin putting, as folks call it, is really a kind of a last-minute strangulation of the grip. So you end up sort of squeezing it tighter than you realize. And fluctuations in grip pressure have a major impact on how far the ball travels. So you practice, and you practice, and you finally get up to a pressure putt, and you think you're gripping it normally, but you really aren't. And you can't feel it because you're nervous. And so you send the ball past the hole, or you tighten up a couple of left. What this does is this renders that a non-issue. You can be feather light or strangling, and it still goes up there.
Right, I'm going to test you now.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Now,
How far should this putt be? 30 foot? 10 foot? We'll give you a 5 foot.
I'll do you one better. Let me get my little training aid
Oh,
out.
you've got a hole. That's brilliant. I could have brought one. I did it for 3 days. But, you know. Oh, look at this. What's this?
This is what I invented to test the effect of the torpedo on a player. And this is actually what top players have been secretly training with now for a few years.
Okay, that's cool.
I call this the direct hit putting trainer. And this is, we're not selling this per se, we're just including it with the putter.
Okay.
Folks will go home and prove to themselves that it really works. So basically, what I discovered after inventing this little training aid was that, as it turns out, even good professionals almost never, I repeat that with emphasis, almost never strike the ball absolutely squarely.
No, what do they do?
Almost everybody slices putts.
Okay.
That is to say, they hit it with a glancing blow coming from the audience across here.
Rick, did Jack Nicklaus slice his putts?
He wouldn't know. Here's why. Here's why.
There we are. I guess I know.
When you hit a ball, the naked eye cannot detect side spin. It's rolling forward, so you think, okay, it's rolling forward.
Good way.
But you don't really know. It's not like a baseball that's curving in the air. You can't tell. The only way to tell is to take forward roll out of the equation and turn this essentially into a hockey puck.
Okay.
And that way you can determine if you're really arriving squarely and if the ball follows the path. So if you're home and you buy this putter, you're in your living room, you might get lucky and hit 2 or 3 or 4 in a row squarely with a conventional putter. But you won't be nearly as consistent as you are with just a short amount of practice with the torpedo. So I like to demonstrate it one-handed to show that putting is really just about getting the weight into the air and then letting gravity do the rest. Now that was a very slight turn, so that's almost perfect. Now if you're hitting the ball squarely each time, then guess what? It's going to go the same distance each time.
Okay.
So when you hit a ball with a glancing blow, it's not a full transfer of energy. So this is very typical of an amateur or pros, actually. They'll be on a slope, and they'll cut across the ball unwittingly, and then it'll take more of the break than it otherwise would have because it's rotating toward the slope. And they'll say, that broke too much. They didn't really misread the putt, they just hit the putt.
Yeah, I can't read greens, but I've been told what it is because I can't actually hit a ball in a straight line.
So once more, one-handed, just lift, push back. Lift is the wrong term. Push back until you feel the weight, and then drop it. So there's, they're virtually perfect. Now, if you want to try a few on your own with a conventional putter, then switch back and forth. Anybody out there wants to give it a try. It's.
Can we have one youngster from the audience, please? You look very keen, sir. What's your name? Harry. How are you, Harry? Come up on the stage, sir. Round of applause for Harry, please. Are you ready to do a goal? You are?
Okay.
Are you the best in the country? Okay. Shame.
All right, Harry, what we're going to do is we're just going to try to hit this absolutely straight down the line, and we're going to see if that little disc will spin or not. Okay? So we'll let you hit a few of that.
Huge amount of pressure here, Harry.
Okay, so he sliced that a little bit, which is typical. You can choke down if you want, Harry, and just do your best. Just try to hit it straight down the line. Good.
That's a very good round of applause. One of the great putt.
Right.
Good way.
One more.
Max, I guess if Jack Nicklaus was slicing the putts, they sliced just perfectly into the hole a lot of times.
Yeah, and if he was consistently slicing, he would learn to do that. Unfortunately, it's like billiards. You want to hit that cue ball most of the time squarely. You wouldn't want to rely on hitting one ball at an angle to hit another ball on an angle. That's very difficult.
I've spent a lot of time with him, and he rolls it really true. It's pretty amazing. He wasn't making putts on accident, that's for sure.
I'm told that the only pro that could hit this consistently squarely with a conventional putter among quite a few top European professionals was Bob Harrington with a conventional putter.
So just to conclude, Tim, whereabouts can people find this? Where can they get it?
We're very close to launching. This is the real McCoy. This is not a prototype. We're in production. We will be opening our shopping cart, if not the end of this week, the beginning of next week. Fingers crossed. And it's torpedogolf.com.
Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all three for coming in. Really appreciate it. American Golf for these guys. Golf Ball 3000? Golf Ball 3000. Is right down there. Thank you very much. That's Tim Winey, Rick Oakes, and of course, Jonathan Ashwood.
Very much, yeah.
Thank you.
Now, just a moment. Is Steve ready? Steve here?